really well. We were really, obviously from a quality standpoint, the team continues to grow, so we were able to accomplish a lot of things with the tools and the technology to just generate what we feel is a continuing better quality of product. It didn't have as much kind of press oomph because it wasn't like the relaunch of Sam & Max after 13 years of not being there. So it was a little bit less of a huge launch, but it's steadily been doing well for us. And as we moved out to Steam and new channels, it continues to sell and do well. So over time, with the beauty of the genre is these products continue to sell over time, and the better the product is, the more it does that. Kind of the second thing is when it went live, season 1 did better as well. So the success of the whole franchise continues to grow every time we release a new series.
Okay, so we can be sure that there will be season 3?
Well, life is you can never be sure in life, but we're definitely very excited about it, and we have our destiny in our own hands. So, we'll figure out how to get it staffed and get the right people on it and throw it into production hopefully soon.
While I'm at it, there are lots of discussions about Bone still. Are there plans to continue the Bone series?
I think we really like the series as a whole, as a group of stories and everything else, and we've also heard that they're signed up with Warner Brothers to do a film as well, so that should get it some more publicity. But as of right now, it's not in our SKU plan for this year. We've got Homestar, Sam & Max, Wallace and Gromit all taking up our time, so we're pretty full at the moment. But there's a lot of people at the studio who would love to get to the third book because we really feel like that's where the story is starting to really gel. I think if we had to do all over again, I think we probably would have combined the first 3 books into one episode to kind of get it into the juicy story first, instead of so literally translating the first book. But as of right now, we're not working on it.
Okay, you mentioned Strong Bad, which just started. How are the first reactions?
It's been great. It's if you care what critics say, and I think you guys might write the occasional review, so you should. It's scoring pretty well. It's in the 80s in Metacritic, so we're really happy about that. It's huge for us to have it on WiiWare. I think it's huge for the genre for us to have a game like that on WiiWare, and it's done really well. It's been as high of a seller as their best-selling games up there. So, I think it's up there with on the first week. I think it's up there with My Life is King and other high-profile titles. So we're happy to be there, and the second episode should be following up now any day. Not any day. I'm sorry. In the next couple weeks. I wish it was any day.
Okay, in order to be on WiiWare, I think it has to fit into less than 40 megabytes or so. How much things did you have to cut in order to match this size?
Well, the goal was to not cut anything. Kevin, after the CTO, Kevin Bruner, after he had done the pass for Strong Bad, was feeling like it was possible to get Sam & Max Culture Shock into the 40 megs with the existing content. So, and maybe a little bit less music because there's just so much. The music in Sam & Max is just all-you-can-eat buffet of everything, and it's great, but it's a lot. But I think he felt like we did geometry compression and more aggressive animation compression and decompression. So we built our technology to use assets more effectively, and as a result could keep it pretty it's a 3-hour game, and it has as many dialogue lines as episode 1 season 1, so it's a big chunk of content.
Yes, and then there was the announcement of Wallace and Gromit. So how much involvement has Nick Park in the development process?
Well, Nick has been involved in the stories and helping us get the stories right. But he's also they're in the middle of production right now for something they're doing for the BBC. and they're really busy. So that's kind of Nick's focus. But they have given us access to story writers and animators and cinematographers. So we're working with them pretty closely to get the look and feel and the storytelling right. And you know, it's a pretty unique story. It's a pretty unique place from where Wallace and Gromit come. It's like North England, and there's a lot of cultural norms up there that it's real important for us to capture. So we're working with them to try to get a lot of that. And of course, they have an art style that's all theirs and a cinematography style that's all theirs. So our hope is that we can get up there as soon as they're done with this production. We can get up there and sit down with them and really show them some of the stuff in our game engine and start learning some of their tricks for cinematography and character movement and all that kind of stuff.
From the technical point of view, what do you do to the engine to achieve the look of Wallace and Gromit?
Well, most of it's already there. I think we're going to go after adding some functionality on the rendering side so that we can do a little more with shadows, because lighting is such a big part of their cinematography. But as far as getting claymation, you know, it's just finding the right bump map to the right textures to lay on there and the right bump map to put on there, and hopefully we'll find it in our character model. We got a character modeler full time trying to recreate that feel. And then there's the stop animation, which is something that our Kevin Bruner is definitely a specialist in animation. So he's in there really trying to figure out ways to get that feel. So we're addressing it, I guess, in the animation, to specific answer to your question, in the animation engine, in the rendering engine, to try to get there, yeah.
Okay, getting back to Nintendo, did you think about porting games to the Nintendo DS?
Yeah, but it's, you know, it'd be hard to port the games as they are to the Nintendo DS, and we probably wouldn't do it. We'd probably work with someone to do it. We think that our titles and our franchises and our puzzles and stories should be over there, but we really haven't had time to sit down and find a partner and that would work well with us and come up with the design and everything, but we would love to do it.
Do you have plans for the iPhone?